Hey, what's up guys, it's Yeti here. So today we're going to talk about why, in my opinion, Season of Discovery Phase 3 is failing right now. Because there have been just recent numbers of raid participants image, the graph going all around the internet, and it looks pretty depressing for Season of Discovery. And I wanted to make a video and talk about why I think that is. So reason number one is just right off the bat, when Phase 3 started, we had incursions in comparison to Ashenvale in Phase 1 and STV PvP event in Phase 2. I think that incursions seemed really cool at start to level up with, but they didn't really have the same level of like objectives. They didn't have the same level of reward as the other two examples. And also, I think that the fact that they just scaled up Ashenvale and STV and offered, I guess, rewards that were even less interesting than before kind of sucked. Like, for example, get into Exalted, just gave you the wrists with Warsong Gulch. And, STV was completely useless for some classes. I just think that was really bad. While Incursions, they, present a lot of problems by themselves. So, number two is going to be Economy ruined by Incursions. Incursions came out, they were absolutely overtuned in terms of both experience and gold. So the people that did incursions in the first, I think it was 7 or 8 hours, at least in European servers, got so much gold. It was absolutely ridiculous. Even me, myself, I started leveling, I think at 7 in the morning, and I was max level by 2 p.m. Got a lot of gold. That was the most gold I've ever gotten in WoW, and it was through a mindless grind. I was just doing quests in the zone, like just a small area in Ashenvale, just repeating that over and over again with my little pre-made group. And nowadays there's even add-ons that share the quests really fast, that automate the whole process. And that kind of farming, I think, is really bad for the game in general, and it makes the disparity between new and veteran players in the game even bigger. Right now, I think getting into the game when it comes to buying consumables and trying to level up your professions is still heavily impacted by incursions when they first came out. The amount of gold that started circulating was way too high, but the gold was not circulating between everyone. It was between the people that got, the first couple of thousands of gold from incursions, and the rest of us kind of suffer from that still now. And I think that was also one of the big problems why P3 started to suck and why a lot of people didn't want to participate. Wiping has never been more painful than it is in P3 of SoD. There's more world buffs. The consumables are more expensive than ever, and they obviously also bring a bigger buff because they keep scaling up. And I think that, yeah, that's also a big problem in P3 of SoD. Another problem that I think a lot of people have started talking about, but was kind of ignored at start, was the 10-man bi-weekly content versus 20-man weekly content. So I'm the Guildmaster of Down. We are a Alliance guild on EU Lone Wolf, and we in the past have ran 2 groups every single reset. So that means 4 runs a week we've run with my guild. They were pretty much always fully booked. Maybe we sometimes had to pug a feral or something, but generally speaking, we were really like just chilling the whole season. But now, with the weekly content, the interest is dropping so much. The fact that all of us were logging in 2 times a week to clear the raid, 20 men, doing our thing, 1 hour, having fun talking after that, and now having the 20-man group, a lot less talking because there's too many people, not everyone can speak, coming on to do ST. It feels more, I don't know how to say, like too professional almost, while the 10-man relaxed content was more like SOD. It was like people were excited, people were hanging out, and I really miss that idea, right? That just the dynamics that we had in the groups back then, because we had 2 different 10-mans, usually one friend group in one friend group in the other. Generally speaking, it was a really fun experience, but now, we're all together, and it doesn't have the same kind of effect. So another reason is obviously lack of new content and updates. So once P3 dropped, we got the new raid, we got some leveled up dungeon rewards that were not almost in any way better than Phase 2 Biz. And then that's pretty much it, right? We got the incursions. And I think that kind of content drop, like that kind of content release really frustrated the players. That slow pace of release was just not something we wanted. And I think now the fact that they announced that P4 is going to be even delayed, I think it's gonna kill even more guilds. I see every day on Reddit guilds dropping like flies, and it's gonna continue until they release some new content. I think that's just horrible, right? The feeling of stagnation and lack of excitement in the game really kills the experience for a lot of people. And also, just to add on top of this, because of incursions being the main source of leveling for most people, the world is kind of empty. And right now, even though world leveling is better and faster, nobody is leveling anymore, because if you get to max level, you need to clear all these raids. You need to do all these professions to level them up. There's pretty much no catch-up mechanics in some aspects. There is in a little bit in gold and a little bit or a lot in XP, but not enough in other aspects. You know, runes, consumables, professions, all of these need to be obtained through grinding, and they're not being done, you know, in any way. They're not sped up. And I think the last part that really kills SoD right now is the event participation. The rates of participation in new events and activities in SoD are so low. Even incursions, if you step in, you might be the only person in the incursion. Servers literally went from full to being empty in SoD. And I think this is something that Blizzard should really look at. They should really look at P3, what they did wrong, and go through all of these bullet points, because I think there's a lot to improve in all of these. I do think that quality of life additions to SoD are more than welcome. In phase 1, we had the faster mount. That was awesome. Now, we still have the same mounts that we had at level 40. I don't think that kind of rate, like that kind of slowing down in a game mode like SoD is welcome. I don't think the players like it. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, make sure to sub and watch my stream, twitch.tv/Yeti. I'll see you guys around, and thank you very much for watching.